Tenth last chapter. I think 15 வச்சு பாருங்க. தேவைப்படாது, இதுக்கு தேவைப்படாது. Excuse me, can you lock that? Leave the sleep. ஒரு மாதிரி So what happened? Why not able to see for a long time? Oh, online. Shall we wait for 2 more minutes? Anybody else said to come? No. What happened to her? Tamil speech. You're going home for preparation. Okay, good. So you remember what we discussed in the last class? What and all we discussed in the last class? Hmm? Yes, tell me. Different levels of organization. Very good. Then, yeah, different levels we saw, and then about ecosystem. Okay, the structure and functions of ecosystem we saw. Okay, fine, good. So now, today we'll say about the food chain and food webs. Okay, food chain and food web. Before that, one quick summary: structure of ecosystem. The man who is more comfortable. Hari, tell me structure and functions of ecosystem. What to do then? What can I do for you to remember? Not from that book, only from your class notes. I think you can remember. Okay, Rohit கிட்ட கேட்டு சொல்லு. Ask him and tell. பரவாயில்ல, தெரிஞ்சு சொல்லு. Okay, they are the components of ecosystem. Ecosystem consists of producers, consumers, decomposes. Okay, fine. Input is production. energy flow, energy transfer, and then output is activities. Okay, activities are energy transfer and output is decomposition. Activities, everything. Okay, fine. In simple, how the ecosystem is organized? There are producers which produce energy, food, okay, and then there are consumers which transfers the energy. For example, plant produces food, right? And they are eaten up by herbivores. Herbivores by primary carnivores, and then secondary or carnivores, or primary consumers, secondary consumer, tertiary consumers, like that it goes on. So production, consumers are transferring energy from producers, energy is transferred. Okay, and output, what is the output? Functioning of the ecosystem. We all do our activity because of that energy only. There is no production, no energy transfer. There is no energy transfer, we cannot survive. No activities can occur. Is it clear? So, for the functioning of ecosystem, this structure, energy production, energy transfer is very, very important. Okay, fine. So, for the energy transfer, two important things are there. How energy is transferred? By food chain and food web. Okay, energy is transferred by through food chain and food web. Okay, through food chain and food web. What is the difference between food chain and food web? What is food chain first? What is food chain? The flow of energy. Okay, very good. See, look at that. Here, examples of different food chain. This is forest, and then grassland, and then pond. Okay, in forest, plants or the producers. Okay, and herbivores or the consumers, primary consumers, and then they are eaten up by the secondary consumers. What do you call? Carnivores. Okay, so like that, from here to here, from here to here, energy transfer, right? And this is called what? Food chain. One after every trophic level. This is trophic level 1, trophic level 2, level 3. So this is food chain in forest. And then in grassland, look at that. Grasses are there, insects are there, frogs are there, snakes, and eagle. Can you see? Producer, primary consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary consumer, and then finally top carnivore. Can you understand? So like that, one after other, one after other, the energy is transferred. So this is called what? This is called what? Food chain. Okay, every trophic level. And similarly, this is an example of what? Pond food chain, aquatic food chain. Plants, first level consumer, second level, third level consumer. Is it clear? So food chain. How do we define food chain? Series of organism taking part at very basic levels, biotic levels, living organism order levels. Series of organism. What is called series of organism? One after other. First plant, second, then third, then fourth, then. Is it clear? This is called what? Food chain. Okay, this is called what? Food chain. And now Everything is called what? Can you see? And every level is called what? One, they call it as what? One trophic level. In the each and everything, food chain, every component is called what? One forms a trophic level. Okay. Produces primary consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary consumer, like that it goes up. Every trophic level. Okay. Fine. So, what forms the producer or the base? Can you see a pyramid-like thing? Can you see here? Trophic levels, the pyramid-like thing produces primary consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary consumer. Can you see the same kind of pyramid here? Now, forget about the example which is given here. You yourself can give me some examples of what a food chain. Anything, maybe aquatic, ocean, or aquarium, the pond which you have, or in nature, anything. Any example apart from that which is given here. Can you make your own food chain with your own example? Take 2 minutes, draw it, and show me. Just tell me, all of you. Hmm? Worm. Which worm? Earthworm. Hmm. Humus means plant material based on it, partially decomposed material. Something. All of you. Yes. Finish. Let me hear from. What's your name? Venkat. Yes. Hmm. Hmm. Insects for example today. Hmm. Hmm. Frog, snake, eagle. என்ன சொல்ல வரான்? But anyway, till snake at least. You can say grass, grasshopper, frog, snake. So listen. Grass is the, in this example, grass is the producer. Okay, and the grasshopper is the primary consumer, or you can say it is a herbivore. Okay, and then frog is a secondary consumer. What it is called? Carnivore. And then snake is a tertiary consumer. Also, it is called what? And snake eater, vegetarian. Hmm? It's a top carnivore. Can you understand? Larger animal, small carnivore, or small consumer, largest consumer, you can say. Is it clear? Fine. Now yours. Hmm. Grass, rabbit, fox. Hmm. Hmm. Lion. Okay, very good. Grass is the producer, rabbit is the herbivore, primary consumer, and then fox is the secondary consumer, third tertiary consumer, or top carnivore. The one which is there on top is top carnivore. Consumer, of course. Basically, primary producers and consumers. Yourself. சும்மா சொல்லு. Grass, cow, cow, worm. Oh, you included decomposers. Okay, but in food chain, they don't come. Okay, but anyway, fine. Only the law, the energy flow. That only if it is living, still even the living components. Energy flow occurs between the living organisms, biotic components. Okay, fine, good. Anyway, if it is dead only, worms will, you know, their decomposers will come into action. Okay, fine, good. Yourself? Hmm. 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 Okay. Hen, human. Very good. So humus, where it comes from? Make it as living plant. Plant or a decomposed material done. Okay, fine, good. So like that, you yourself can design. Sometimes if I ask, draw a food chain for what kind of questions you may get? Draw a food chain for aquatic ecosystem, marine ecosystem, pond ecosystem, desert ecosystem, terrestrial ecosystem. Can you understand? For all the category, you should be able to give your own example. Just imagine, whatever it could be. Okay? They don't ask only structured one here. You have to find your own kind of ecosystem, your own kind of examples. Okay, but you should know who are producers, who are consumers. Is it clear? Fine. So that chain. This is called what? Chain. Mostly design your ecosystem up to 4 level. Traffic level 1, traffic level 2, 3, 4. Producer, primary consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary consumer. That's enough. Is it clear? Fine. Now, what is the function of each and everything? Producers. What is the function of producer? What is the function of producer? Hmm? To produce food. How it produces? That's why they are called what? Autotrophs. Okay? Producers are called Autotrophs, because they only produce energy. Since they are autotrophs, only they are called not producers. How? Photosynthesis. Right? Photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis? They capture light energy. Need to produce, and they also need energy, right? From where it comes from? Sunlight. Okay, sunlight is the source of energy. So what do? In photosynthesis, what occurs? In photosynthesis, what occurs? Tell me, in photosynthesis, what occurs? Captures sunlight, light energy, and it should be converted into, in photosynthesis, light is converted into chemical energy. Light energy, conversion of light and photosynthesis. Photonal light synthesis, na chemical energy synthesis. Can you understand? What are producers? They are autotrophs. They produce energy by photosynthesis, which means light is harvested from sun. That is converted into, light energy is converted into chemical energy. What is the technical name of this process? CO2 fixation. What is it? CO2 fixation. Do you remember the reaction for photosynthesis? 6CO2 plus 6H2O in presence of sunlight, chlorophyll, C6H12O6, glucose, plus oxygen, plus H2O. Can you understand? So this is the reaction for photosynthesis. That is done by, that process is done by what? Producers. Can you understand? Production. Who are producers? Chlorophyll containing, pigment containing photosynthetic organisms are producers. If it is containing the pigment, they can be the producer. Where they are present? Where the producers are present? In ocean, algae. In ocean, they are called what? Algae. Have you heard about this? In ocean, the algae are the primary producers. Algae are mostly unicellular. There are diverse type. In class 12, you see. Class 11, algae. Have you heard about any algae? Blue-green algae is bacteria. Algae, spirulina, chlorella, what they are used for? Spirulina, chlorella. Heard about this term? They are the protein supplementation source for space travelers. Spirulina, chlorella are the food for what? Protein source supplementation for what? Space travelers. Space கெல்லாம் போறவங்க இல்லையா, அவங்களுக்கு protein source எது? Spirulina tablet தான். Can you understand? But anyway, so algae are producers. Basically, they do photosynthesis. They are present in water, in land, in terrestrial ecosystem. Plants are the producers. Grasses, as you say, or whatever. Rice plant. They are the producers. Okay? Photosynthesis. Fine. So that part you should be knowing. Fix up solar energy. What is the function of producers? Fix up solar energy and available for fix up solar energy, converted into chemical energy, and gives the food for heterotrophs. Autotrophs to heterotrophs. How heterotrophs are organized structure? As we saw now, the herbivores are primary consumers. Herbivores are also called what? Primary consumers. And then the small carnivores are called what? Secondary consumers. Small carnivores are called what? Secondary consumer. And large carnivores are called what? Tertiary consumers. Okay? Can you understand this? Producers forms the first trophic level. Primary consumer forms the second trophic level. Secondary consumers form the third trophic level. Tertiary consumers form the fourth trophic level. So like this goes on. Okay? And what is transferred from primary to tertiary or from producers to tertiary consumer? What is transferred? Energy. Can you understand? So this pyramid is also called what? If I ask you to draw a pyramid of energy, what you should draw? This one. This is called what? Pyramid for energy level, trophic system of energy. Can you understand? Questionல டைரக்டா கேட்டிருப்பாங்க. Draw the pyramid for energy level transfer. Energy transfer. இப்படிதான் இருக்கும். This is called pyramid of energy. This pyramid is called what? Pyramid of what? Energy. And what structure it? Pyramid. Upward pyramid. It is called what? Upward pyramid. They call it as what? Upward pyramid. Okay. Now, something called the pyramid of number. This is pyramid of energy. Can you understand this? This is called what? Pyramid of energy. Can you tell me, give me an example of pyramid of number, how it looks like? Number. Number of organism. See how many? Same thing, upright pyramid only. Producers are more comparatively. Producers விட primary consumers கம்மியா இருப்பாங்க. And primary consumer விட secondary கம்மியா இருப்பாங்க. Secondary விட tertiary கம்மியா இருப்பாங்க. நீங்க அப்ளை பண்ண எக்ஸாம்பிள்ஸ்லயே பாருங்க. Yes or no? That is called what? Pyramid of number. They call it as what? Pyramid of number. And will be there any pyramid like this? Example. This is inverted pyramid. Can you see the difference between upward pyramid and downward pyramid? Inverted pyramid. If they can say downward pyramid. This is, can you assume something? What is parasitism? Smaller fellow, like viruses. For example, you are one organism, right? You are one human being. How many microorganisms are present in your body? There are parasites are present. There are common cells are present. Okay? And of course, there are symbiotic organisms are present. What are parasites? What are common cells? What are symbionts? You remember? Have you heard about these terms? Parasites. What are called parasites? Viruses, bacteria, which harms you. They are called what? Parasites. In one, I have cold. Means I have virus. Lot of viruses are there in our body. I am the host, one organism. I am the producer, food for them. But there are many. Does the pyramid is inverted or not? Fine. Like that, common cells are there. What are common cells? Always in our intestine, there are bacteria. E. coli, bacteria are there. You give food, but they don't harm you. They take food from you, they don't harm you. For example, parasites harm you. Common cells, no effect. They do not have any effect in you are the host. Parasite உங்களுக்கு பிரச்சனை கொடுக்கும். Common cells உங்களுக்கு என்ன பிரச்சனையுமே கொடுக்காது. அது பாட்டு இருந்துட்டு போயிடும். And then symbionts benefit you. How? Codல நீங்க என்ன எடுத்துக்கிறீங்க? Code. Lactobacillus. Lactic acid producing bacteria. Lactobacillus you are taking. Vitamin B12 source are more. Can you understand? Will it be useful for you? They are what? They'll give you food, energy, vitamin. Probiotics. They are called what? Probiotics. Parasites are called what? Pathogens. So, in parasitic ecosystem, like for example, even in plants, you can take a plant. One tree is there. Tree is the producer. Tree is the producer. One tree, one single tree. How many organisms are depending on the tree? So many bacteria are there. So many insects are there. மரத்தையே கடிச்சு கடிச்சு சாப்பிட்டு இருக்கும். மரத்தோட bark, seed, fruit, leaf எல்லாத்தையும் கடிச்சு சாப்பிட்டு இருக்கும். ஒரே ஒரு ட்ரீ தான். ஆமாவா இல்லையா? That ecosystem is called what? Parasitic ecosystem. When one producer are there, which serves energy for many parasites, then that is அப்ப என்ன pyramid உங்களுக்கு கிடைக்கும்? Inverted pyramid. Okay? So always pyramid நேரா தான் இருக்கணும்னு கிடையாது. Generally like this only. Then a pyramid of food, pyramid of energy, pyramid of number. எல்லாமே எப்படி இருக்கும்? Upright-ஆ தான் இருக்கும். But pyramid of parasitismல என்னவா இருக்கும்? Inverted pyramid கூட இருக்கலாம். Can you understand? Inverted pyramid கூட இருக்கலாம். Fine. Sometimes if they ask you, give example for an inverted pyramid அப்படின்னு சொன்னா, you can give what? Parasitism. Okay? Fine. Now, so produces food. Okay? And then all these things are what? Which we saw, produces, consumers, all these things are what? Living organisms. Okay, all these things are what? Living organisms. So, these living organisms should be, for the proper functioning of that, the interaction among various components of the environment involves. Okay, what are the various other components of the environment? What are the other components? Living organisms are there. Other components, as we saw, light is there, air is there, water is there. Can you understand? Light, water, air. In the energy transfer, what also plays a crucial role? Not just living organisms. Also, for every level functioning, what is necessary? The abiotic components. Okay? Light, water, air, everything is very, very important. Fine. Now, one simple question. Something here you can see a pyramid. Okay? Sunlight, the plant gets energy, and then the energy is transferred. Okay? They measured this. They just quantified it. இப்ப just இந்த பிரமிட் மட்டும் பார்த்தா இது என்ன சொல்லுவாங்கன்னா ஒரு குவாலிட்டேட்டிவ் அனாலிசிஸ். லாஜிக்கலி யூ கேன் சே ரைட், லைட்ல இருந்து எனர்ஜி, சன்ல இருந்து எனர்ஜி பிளான்ட்க்கு கிடைக்குது, பிளான்ட்ல இருந்து பிரைமரி கன்சூமர் செகண்டரி கன்சூமர்ஸ் போக்கிட்டு இருக்கு அப்படின்னு சொல்றோம் இல்லையா? இப்போ this is qualitative assay. What is called the quantitative assay? Qualitative means what? Observe பண்றோம் sunlightல இருக்கிற energy for plants. Plantல இருந்து primary consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary consumer. Can you understand this? Fine. Now, that's qualitative assay. What is quantitative assay? Quantitative assay means what? How much of energy is obtained by plants? How much? How much the plant transfer to next level? Can it? Yes, it is measured. Okay, that's that measurement. After they analyzed all these things, and then they concluded that nature follows 10% law. What it is called? 10% of energy flow. Actually, it is called what? 10%. What it is 10%? Sunlight. If a plants are there. Can the plant obtain full energy from the sunlight? Can the plant obtain full energy from the sunlight? No. So, from the sunlight, they receive only 1%. How much they receive? 1%. How much? How much plant receives for photosynthesis? 1%. Okay. That radiation, it has a name. Plant sunல இருந்து collect பண்ற energy, அந்த radiationக்கு ஒரு பேர் வச்சிருக்காங்க. It is called what? PAR. It is called what? PAR. What is PAR? No, don't. It is nothing but photosynthetic active radiation. What is PAR? Jalashmi, are you noting down? What is PAR? PAR stands for what? Photosynthetic. P. Active radiation. Photosynthetically active radiation. Okay, that is called PAR. PAR. Only 1 to 10% plant receives. How much it receives? Since it is 10% law. 1 to 10% only plant receives. Is it clear? Sunlight la nariya energy irukku. But plant maximum evlo eduthukom? 1 to 10% only. Okay? And see, what is the unit of measurement of energy? Okay, I'm giving you another task. Joules. Energy is measured what? Joules. Okay? And I'm giving you you are, say I'm the sunlight. Okay, I am the sunlight. I'm giving you, you are the producer. Okay, first trophic level. Hari is the primary consumer, second trophic level. And you are the secondary consumer, third trophic level. And you are the tertiary consumer, fourth trophic level. And I have 1 lakh rupees. Okay, I have how much energy? I have 1 lakh joules. You can say I have 1 lakh. Okay, correct? It's so 1 plus 50. I have 1 lakh joules. That's my energy level. Okay. Now follow the 10% law. How much? 10% law means, listen, you get how much? 10,000. How much you pass? Only she can pass or 90%, she gets 1 lakh from, means I have 1 lakh, but I can give her only 10%. So how much I can give to her? Only 10,000. 10,000 joules. She utilizes that. From that 10,000, how much she utilizes? 90%. How much she can pass to the next traffic level? How much she will give you? How much you can give her? Give him 100. How much you can give him? 10. Can you understand? This is called what? 10% law. Can you understand? Energy flow. This is called what? 10% law. Only that much energy is transferred. How it is measured? In one particular area. See, listen, plants are there. In one particular area, at one particular time, how much dry weight of food is produced? Can you understand? And how much it is produced and how much it is utilized, how much is available for the dry mass. Finally, dry mass. Plant produces food and it stores something. It utilized and it stores something. And that only given. If a rice plant வளர்க்குறோம், produce food நிறைய பண்ணும், அது யூஸ் பண்ணிடும், 90% யூஸ் பண்ணிட்டு 10% தான் உங்களுக்கு சேவ் பண்ணி கொடுக்கும். எஸ் ஆர் நோ? அதை மெஷர் பண்ணா போதும். அந்த 10% என்னன்றதை தெரிஞ்சுக்கலாம். Can you understand? ஒரு ஏக்கர்ல ஒரு 1 இயர்ல எத்தனை மூட்டை நெல் விளையுது, எத்தனை கிலோ நெல் விளையுது? That is the amount of food produced by that producer in that particular area. This can be measured or not? And அதை வச்சு எத்தனை பேர் சாப்பிடலாம், எத்தனை நாள் சாப்பிடலாம்? Can you understand? Like that it can be measured. Energy transfer is measurable quantitatively. Is it clear? Fine. So that is energy transfer law. What happens to the only 10% we are going to share? What happened to why? What are we going to do with that 90% energy? For your growth and development. That organism, for its growth and development, they utilize it. Why plant produce food? Plants are the producers. Why they should produce food? For their growth and development, not for Hari. Hari சாப்பிட்டு குட்டு பையனா ஒண்ணுங்களா சாப்பிட்டு நெல் வருது விளையுதா? They do not know you, right? Apple tree இருக்கு. Hari likes apple? Banana? Nothing you like? Chicken? Huh? Grapes? Okay. Grape plant-க்கு தெரியுமா? ஹரிக்கு நம்ம நல்லா வளர்ந்து போய் சாப்பாடு கொடுக்கணும்னு தெரியாது இல்லையா? For its growth and development, it actually develops. நம்ம தான் அதை எடுத்துக்கிறோம். Okay, so 90% of the food actually plant producers producing food for them, but we use it actually. Can you understand? So 90% of the food is used for the growth and development of that particular organism. Only a portion, 10% is transferred to the next level. So keep that in mind. Okay, that's what is given here. Green plants eaten by primary consumers. Okay, fine. See, one more thing. See, listen. One more thing. In the direction of the energy flow, what is it? It is unidirectional. Energy flow is unidirectional. What is called unidirectional? Plant கிட்ட produce ஆன food energy கண்டிப்பா அடுத்த trophic level தான் வந்தாகும். Grasshopper cannot give food to plant. Rabbit cannot give food to grasshopper. Can you understand? Trophic level இருக்கு இல்லையா? So only this is the flow of energy from producers to primary consumer to secondary consumer to tertiary consumer. Like that it goes on. Energy flow is unidirectional. Finally, what comes? Decomposes comes, and then all the dead decomposed. Again, it enters into the cycle. food chain enters into the cycle. As you said, humus. Is it clear? So understand what you should know. What is food chain? Example of food chain for all ecosystem. Okay? And then functions of producers, functions of consumers. Producers produce energy. Consumers consume, grow and develop, and then transfer energy, energy transfer. That you should know. And then this 10% law. And different type of pyramids you should know. What are the different type of pyramids? Pyramids of energy, pyramids of number, pyramid of inverted pyramid for parasitic ecosystem. All these things you should know. Okay. Now, look at the important points. Okay. Actually, we discussed all these things. First, as we saw, plants capture energy light converted into energy, and plant transfers the energy to the primary consumers. Okay, 10% law works, and then primary consumers to all reaches the next level of consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary consumer, and or primary, secondary, and tertiary consumer. Energy flow is transferred. Okay, fine. So in general, every food chain must consist of what? Only 3 to 4 levels. Generally, food chain consists of what? Only 3 to 4 levels. Is it clear? 10 varaiku adigittu povave kudadu. Maybe irundhalum. Can you understand? So 3 to 4 level steps it consists. Okay, fine. Greater number, as I said. See, listen. I told you pyramid of number. Based on this sentence only, they can ask you draw the pyramid of number. Here it is given in center sentence. Look at that. Generally, greater number of individuals at the lower trophic level of an ecosystem. A greater number is producer, which means what? Greater number in the first trophic level, which means what? Number of pyramid. If I ask you the number of pyramid, ask you to draw the number of pyramid, you should know. Other kammi. Can you understand? So greater in the bottom. Then they may ask one question. If there are lesser number of producers in the first trophic level, what it is called? What kind of pyramid you get? If they ask, what you should know? Inverted pyramid. Okay, from the sentence you should be able to draw. They give you one sentence and ask you to draw a pyramid. Okay, one situation they give you and they list some organisms. Okay, how questions can be? They list some organisms. Ask you to draw a pyramid of number, pyramid of ecosystem, whatever, anything. Okay, list it and you have to make the chain, food chain, based on every trophic level. Is it clear? Fine. What is food web? Food chain, okay. What is food web? Branches. Two different food chains. Grassland food chain, food web is maybe ecosystem. Wherever ecosystem got a food web order. Yeah. So, Adida, look at that. The relationship of series of branching line. Different food chain order branches. Okay. Many food chains இருக்கும் அதோட interconnections அதுதான் நம்ம என்னன்னு சொல்லுவோம் what do we call food web அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவோம் what is the advantage sometimes they may ask merits and demerits of food chain merit of food chain னா என்ன தொடர்ந்து சாப்பாடு கிடைச்சிட்டே இருக்கும் food chain ஒரு organism food chain குள்ள வந்துச்சுன்னா என்ன கிடைக்கும் always it gets a food it is safe. Okay, but எப்ப பிரச்சனை வரும் maybe climate change ஆகுது if one particular in the food chain if one trophic level organism is lost what will happen? The whole அடுத்த லெவல்ல இருக்கிறவனுக்கு எனர்ஜியே கிடைக்காது. Because energy flow is unidirectional. How environment balances that? By creating food web. Look at that. Bending from here to here. Okay? From here to here. Okay? And then from here to here. Can you understand? So, these interconnections are called what actually? Food web. Because of the existence of food web, in nature, sustainability is maintained. What is called sustainability? Ecosystem sustainability. What is called sustainability? The destruction and constructions are balanced. When you eat chicken, yeah, yeah. Okay, of course you can take something, but you ensure that something is available. Maybe you are you're vegetarian. Maybe you're carrot plant putting it ring. Yes or no? Vegetables harvest பண்ணிட்டீங்க. But you ensure that what? You will be preparing, you will be having the seeds. From that you can propagate it again. That is called what? Sustainability. Okay, so food web ensures what? Sustainability in the ecosystem. Means you can eat as much, but you ensure that yes, you are not going to deplete the sources. Can you understand? The food web ensures that. Interconnected food web ensures what? Yes, it is available. Okay, it will not deplete any resources. That concept is called what? Ecosystem sustainability, which is enhanced by the food web. Food chain and food web. Without food chain, can you get food web? No. So you should have a food chain, many food chain. Then only there are as much of interconnections are possible. Okay, so food chains and food webs ensures sustainability. Ecosystem, living, non-living components, sustainability. No exploitation, only proper utilization. Can you understand? So that's the important thing about water, food web. So important points are the flow of energy is unidirectional. Means consumer cannot give food to producer unless they are dead and decomposed. If it is alive, it cannot food. That's one important thing you should know. And then that's what they're telling. Herbivores does not come back to autotrophs. Can you understand? The energy flow is unidirectional. And second thing actually, energy available at each trophic level gets diminished progressively due to loss of energy. So, in one way, energy is going away only, it is not constant. Okay, but sustainability concept for the next set of organisms. No organism is going to stay alive for a longer time. So, energy producers consumers pudu producers, pudu consumers, pudu energy flow. Can you understand? So this is actually maintained. Okay. Are there any chances for this system to get affected? Yeah, many factors. Main, for example, pollution. Say a plant is there, contaminants, pollutants, anything. So, தேவையில்லாம ஒண்ணு அதிகமாயிடுச்சுன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க. இப்ப பிளான்ட் வளர்றதுக்குள்ள பூச்சி நிறைய ஆயிடுச்சு, இல்ல தண்ணி தேவைதான், ஆனா பிளான்ட் வளர்றதுக்குள்ள வெள்ளம் ஃப்ளட் என்ன எல்லாம் அழுகி போயிடும். Can you understand? Sometimes no water, but every என்ன லைட் என்ன இருக்கும், பிளான்ட் அல்ல ரெஸ்பிரேஷன் லாஸ், காஞ்சி போயிடும் பிளான்ட். நோ வாட்டர், ஹை டெம்பரேச்சர் என்ன ஆகும், பிளான்ட் எல்லாம் காஞ்சி போயிடும். Can you understand? So, many factors, chemicals, or whatever harmful substances can knowingly or unknowingly affect it, like pests, okay, other chemicals, crops, diseases can also affect the system. But through the food web, what kind of opportunity they have? There is a concept called what? Biomagnification. What it is? What is this concept? Biomagnification. What is called biomagnification? See, ஒரு இண்டஸ்ட்ரியோட வேஸ்ட் கெமிக்கல் லேக்ல வந்துடுச்சு. லேக் குட்டி குட்டி ஃபிஷஸ் eats small fishes are there. Small fishes. Okay? Eat 1 milligram of waste. ஒரு பெரிய ஃபிஷ் இருக்கு, பெரிய சைஸ் ஃபிஷ் ஈட் இந்த மாதிரி 10 ஃபிஷ் சாப்பிடும். அப்ப பெரிய ஃபிஷ்குள்ள எத்தனை இருக்கும்? 10 மில்லிகிராம் வேஸ்ட் வந்துடும். ஹரி வரான். ஹரி இது மாதிரி 10 ஃபிஷ்ஷை ஃப்ரை பண்ணி சாப்பிட்டுறான். அப்ப ஹரிக்குள்ள எத்தனை மில்லிகிராம் ஆஃப் வேஸ்ட் வந்துருக்கும்? 100 milligram. So this is called what? This concept is called what? Biomagnification. When a pesticide or a chemical or a pathogen enters into the food chain, இது என்ன ஆகிறதுக்கு சான்ஸ் இருக்கு? Biomagnifications. அந்த டாப் லெவல்ல இருக்கிற கார்னிவரை சுத்தமா அஃபெக்ட் பண்ணது. டாப் லெவல் கார்னிவர் அந்த ஹீரோ அப்படின்னு நம்ம நினைச்சிட முடியாது. என்னவும் நடக்கலாம். Because of this food chain. If pollutants, pathogens entered into your food chain, என்ன நடக்கலாம் உங்களுக்கு அந்த டாப் கார்னிவருக்கு? அவ்வளோ ராஜா, அவ்வளோ பிரச்சனை உங்களுக்கு. You get affected. Okay, this is one drawback of that. Okay, anyway, so with this, let me stop. We will continue the rest in the next class. So light energy produces herbivores, carnivores, top carnivores. Okay, thank you.